Wow, we are back once again with another episode of I'm About It. I don't know where to begin. I don't know about you, but the last two episodes of Love is Blind, these two episodes, have been excruciatingly painful to watch. I feel like the editors are really just gaslighting us at this point. I really don't have any words to really say about what in the world is going on. And we're just going to go through everything as we usually do, one by one through each and every couple. The reason why I'm just so confused, I couldn't even watch the whole wedding dress in the last episode. How can you even watch the girls and the guys finding suits and wedding dresses when honestly their entire relationship is a sham, in my opinion? Why would I say that? Well, you have AD saying that she will jump off a cliff without no parachute for Clay. Why? I'm not seeing what she's seeing. I don't see the excitement she's seeing when it comes to Clay. And then you have Jiminy Cricket and Chelsea. Jimmy saying he found his person, but yet in the same hour or 2 hours have told Chelsea that he will not get engaged with her if he keeps saying the things that she's been saying and doing. Ugh. And then you have Jeremy, Laura, and Sarah Ann, which I saw this imploding way before the day it was going to implode. Let's start off Amy and Johnny. Amy, our Latina, and Johnny, except for the fact that Johnny thinks getting a vasectomy is just getting a croquet bow on your private parts. I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know why he thinks it was some type of simple procedure, as if he was going to go get some coffee. I don't understand what he was saying in that conversation. Johnny, I'm gonna need you to go do your research before you make one of the most life-threatening decisions you can ever make for yourself. I'm just saying. I do see Amy and Johnny getting married. I think they're the only couple I obviously see getting married. Ooh, where do I begin? It's such a shit show. Let's start off with Jiminy Cricket and Chelsea. I do think Jimmy loves Chelsea, but I don't know why. And the funny thing is, Chelsea left us at a cliffhanger because Jimmy asked Chelsea, "Are you in love with me?" And Chelsea's blank. While this entire time she's been wanting Jimmy to be in love with her, but I don't think she's in love with him. She's been trying to convince Jiminy Cricket to be in love with her, but she's not. Why is she hesitating to say that I'm going to say I do? How has Jimmy become one of the least problematic men in the show? Jimmy has done everything and everything under the rug to prove to this very insecure woman that he's in love with her. Everything. Apparently he had sex with her when he didn't want to. Apparently he said love to her. He said I love you to her when he didn't want to. He said he's done everything. And Chelsea doesn't seem like she feels it. But she's right, because I don't think Jimmy loves her. I think Jimmy wants to get married to a version of her that his parents like. Everybody approves of her, but we are the only ones, us and him are the only ones who can see the true her, which is a very insecure liar. Okay. Who's very not, also not, you can see the way she looks at AD in her wedding dress. She's jealous of AD. She's jealous of how AD gets the attention while she's wearing the wedding dress. You can see her face. The same face that she had when Jiminy Cricket said to her, "Oh my God, AD looks so good in that dress. She's stacked." She is threatened by other women. And this is the reason why I would never go on Love is Blind. Everybody has told me, because Love is Blind is coming to Toronto, if you don't know. So they're doing casting for Toronto. I just live just outside that. So everybody is saying that I should apply for it. But the thing is, I would not apply for such a show that will put me on a TV screen for each and every one of my actions, behavior, thoughts, words to be dissected by the world. I love my peace too much. I love myself too much. The fame and whatever that comes out of it is not worth it to me. So I would totally do Love is Blind. I've told people I would totally do Love is Blind. if everything wasn't televised, if everything wasn't going to be broadcasted. It's like just doing Love is Blind, just, sign up for it. And then you have matchmakers who match you up with people, or you sign up for it, it happens throughout a month. You come and attend, you meet guys, and then you go home, you go back to your work. Like I would have no problems doing that. And the end result would then end up being going on a date with them, right? So you pick the 5 people you want to go on a date with, or the top 3 people you want to go on a date with. I think that would be a brilliant idea to happen in real life without being televised. And I think that would be really, really popular. But the thing is, I think matchmakers already do that, and they charge thousands. And I don't have that money. Not in this economy, baby. Not when we have wage stagnation. Not when we gotta possibly, nobody's saying it, but we're in a recession. Not when there's an inflation. Not, girl, no. So, I might be looking into getting a matchmaker. I don't know. Like, I'm in that type of vibe, like, but we'll talk about that in the future, and then the future episodes. So I am really surprised at how Jimmy and Jessica really respected one another, respected each person's positions in this moment in life. So remember when there's a barbecue, everybody who was matched or didn't match met each other. I was really impressed by Jessica. I honestly thought Jessica would be like, my man, I like you, you should be with me. But Jessica's like, you chose what you chose, stand on business, and treat her right. I am just so happy that she chose that path rather than choosing the path of, pick me. And that's how how mature Jessica is. But even though they look good together, Jessica and Jimmy Cricky, I don't think they would be good. I do think that Jessica is just too man enough for Jimmy. But Jimmy Cricket has shown how man enough he is dealing with Chelsea, because any other man would have left. The whole conversation of, here's my thing. And this is the reason why people have always said to me that when I meet my man, thank you to my man, that man will be an interesting one, because I can be accommodating, but I am so independent. I am so independent in who I am. Like, I know who I want. I have a life I will have a life outside of my man. And the whole conversation of, you went to go get a drink, go into a bar, you went for an hour, even though I told you that I was going to go, I asked you, let's go. You said no. That's on you, boo-boo. That's on you, Chelsea. For them to question, you then question him. I don't understand, like, going out to the bar for an hour is partying. It's not. It's called having a life outside of you and her. And honestly, if I'm with a man who doesn't have a life outside of me, I won't be with you. That's point blank, period. Because I have a life of my own. You should have a life. I should not be completing you. You should not be completing me. You bring your own interests and hobbies into the relationship, baby. You have your family and friends. If you have a gathering that you need to go to, and let's say I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I should be secure in myself and knowing myself to say, and be confident and be mature and say, you go, babe. You go and support your friend who's having a birthday party or whatever, bachelor, I don't know what it was, I forgot. Go do you. I'll be at home waiting for you. In fact, I would actually do the same. In fact, I want to go on girl trips when I'm with my man. I want my man to know that you please be waiting for me at home. Or you can come with me, but like if I go on a girl trip with my friends, I want my man to be secure in himself, to be like, yeah, babe, I trust you. You go do you, and I'll be right here waiting for you. And that's how it should be, period. That's how it should be. Like, there should be this clinginess, this clingy type of routine, type of behavior that Chelsea's trying to create with Jiminy Cricket. It's freaking weird. Sorry for swearing, but it's freaking weird. Like, in the light of so many things that's been going and that's been exposed in the last week, I don't even know where to even begin with that. That's why watching these episodes is like really weird, because how are we supposed to be watching these episodes when we know that Jeremy was engaged with a woman and the woman had a kid before entering this? How are we supposed to watch these episodes when Trevor was still with his girlfriend when he joined Love is Blind this season? and then is threatening her to, for her not to say anything to anybody, to any publications or anything about the relationship. And then you have Johnny and Jessica walking together at the airport. I know they're probably doing press, but like together at the airport. Are they together? I'll give my thoughts at the end, but let's continue. So there's all that, and that entire conversation was like, is so hard. I had to fast forward it. There's no way Chelsea is talking about Jiminy Cricket going off for an hour. And in fact, I'm gonna stop saying Jiminy Cricket, because Jimmy was like, Jimmy's really strong in dealing with Chelsea. Because I couldn't. But that's the thing. Like, the show gaslights us, because how are we now supposed to watch her wear a wedding dress? They're going on these dates, and then all of this is happening. They're having all these fights. Jimmy saying, "You're my soulmate. She's the one. I love you." Da da da. Like, what is going on? I'm not seeing it. Like, and that's why all these like little dates that they're having is freaking weird. Like, I have to fast forward it. I couldn't watch those parts. Next, talk about Clay and AD. Here's a situation. I think this is a situation in which you have a woman who desperately wants to love, or who desperately wants to get married, or finally wants to settle down, with a man who hasn't really shown that he's ready for that, or hasn't really shown that he wants to do it with you. Clay plays too much. He talks too much. All of the thoughts that he's saying about marriage and all of this and his parents and the celebrities that are single should be kept to himself. But I'm happy that he's sharing it to the world, because we can see where his thought process is at. So when he says no at the altar, we see it coming. But here's my situation. Here's my thing though. I don't know how AD can put all of what Clay is saying aside and still say to her mom, which we'll talk about, I can follow Clay off a cliff without no parachute. Who are we talking about? Clay? I don't get it. I need somebody to understand, because I feel like there are parts that I'm not understanding, and AD's just so happy. But like, what are you happy about? Are you happy about you getting a lot of followers after this? Are you happy about you get to wear a pretty dress? What? I don't understand. Not only has Clay, like, every single time he opens his damn mouth, he's always talking about how he's not ready for marriage. How his parents never showed him a good marriage, even though they've been married for 24 years. I don't know why, just like AD's mom said, like, I don't know why that's your business or your burden to carry. You're a grown-ass man. You've never had a good relation. You've had a successful marriage. There's just 24 years is like 22 decades is really good. So you have that, like, every single time he's opened his mouth, he's always talking about that. And then you also have the fact that I've never heard him actually compliment AD. Like, AD, I love the way you treat me. I love the way, not treat me, sorry. I love who you are as a person. I love that you are a go-getter, that you are business oriented, that you're hardworking, you're beautiful, you're sweet, you're kind, you're this, you're that. I've never had him compliment AD. And then you also have the fact that he doesn't come home and he doesn't sleep in the home that Netflix have paid for. Netflix gave y'all home. Did Netflix give y'all a home, or are you guys living in each other's apartments? Let me know, because I don't get it. I think it's Netflix gave you guys a home, and you guys are supposed to be living in the home during this trial period, and instead he's living in his own apartment because he's working. This man, Clay, doesn't like you, AD. Clay does not like you, and he's doing this for the contract, which is he has to finish this unto the altar. He'll give a decision, which is going to be no. And we saw that decision. We saw him even say it at that kitchen counter when he said, I don't know why it has to lead to a marriage. And I'm so happy AD says, I need a yes or no. I am not going to date you if you say no, you're not going to marry me. Because that's the whole point of this process. That is the whole point. If you're contemplating marriage, why are you here? God. And then you have his mom, not his mom, AD's mom, this sweetest woman. I wish she would have asked more questions though. Like, she was really right to say, Clay, why are you carrying the burdens of your parents onto yourself? What does your parents' marriage have to do with you? What does your parents' marriage have to do with you? And on top of that, yeah, like, I wish she asked more hard hitting questions. Like, that's great that we were able to find out that Clay is in tech sales, but it's so hard talking about this because it's just a shit show. Like, and we're seeing happy parts, but it's the transition from episode 9 to 10 is wild because they're so happy and I don't see why they're so happy. Can y'all tell me why they're so happy? I don't get it. I feel like maybe when you're in a situation, you really don't see the signs because you're in it, and you have to see it from at a glance or from outside of the situation to see all the red flags. Maybe that's why. And even in the last scene with Clay, AD's telling Clay that I'm gonna take you to this, like, when you have me, we're gonna go all these places. You're still trying to convince this boy 2 days before the wedding that you're the catch. Let's go to Laura, Jeremy, Sarah Ann. I'm gonna preface all of this by saying, when it comes to these three, I saw this coming. Number one, let's first look at the perspective of Jeremy. Okay, hear me out. Let's look at it. You have a woman that you chose, okay, has, in the first few days of meeting her, has told you to slap a black woman's breast and call it bean dip in front of her and her man. What is that? Sexual assault? Sexual harassment? I don't know. You have a woman who loves to pick at your buttons. It hasn't really been physically physical. Hasn't been physical. Like, there's no physical, attraction. Like, hasn't been like physical with you. Sorry, I don't know why I'm losing all these words. Hasn't really told you how much she cares. In fact, she loves to poke at your button. Loves to do this. Tells you that your house is too clean and all these things, and loves to nitpick you. Also, she's always having the ick. Because you have Hawaiian shirts, she has the ick. You have this woman that you chose. And I think after Laura told Jeremy that to do the bean dip on AD, that's when I think Jeremy saw who Laura was, because Laura felt like she was gaslighting Jeremy, because we all saw that. You actually said, go touch AD's breast and flick it. So after that night, I think he saw who Laura was, and I think that's where he really didn't really like her. I think he's been forcing himself to like her because of the connection that they have, but I do think he never did around that point. And it's quite clear that he liked her more than she liked him. Here's my thing though. If Jeremy did not like her or had feelings for Sarah Ann, is apparently really early on, because she told Amy, why didn't you be very forthcoming about that to Laura? Why couldn't you go to Laura and then say, hey, my baby, my girl, kind of have second doubts. I do want to speak to Sarah Ann. I do want to see where her head is at. I still have feelings for you, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it, which is what Mr. Principal should have done with my poor Brittany, but he didn't. So that's where it all blows up, where he then has a 6-hour chat in the middle of the night. The entire conversation that Jeremy and Laura has at the barbecue, Jeremy comes and he's sitting down and he's acting as if he's ready to, I have no words. He's ready to commit to this, he said, but yet, you've already packed up her things. You haven't been accountable to your actions. And I do gotta say, Laura also hasn't been accountable to what she has put into. She feels like she's a saint. Not really. You're not a saint. But it seems like Jeremy already made his mind and has been saying lies to Sarah Ann. Here's my thing with Sarah Ann. Let me just say this before I go on. Let me just say, if I was Sarah Ann, I get why she did what she did. But the problem is she should have done it more respectfully, because AD is right. And I don't think AD should have approached Sarah Ann with this. But I think AD approached it with Sarah Ann because AD is Sarah Ann's friend. So they're chatting and be like, girl, you try to snatch a man from from another woman. So you are being a floozy because you are trying to get with Jeremy when he's engaged. So AD's right. Then now Sarah Ann's lying about what she said in the text. Sarah should have done it more respectively, because I do agree. Look, I think if there's still a chance, because here's the thing, I do agree, Sarah Ann, because you've come to this experience to meet your soulmate. You're not here to make friends, and if you make friends, it's cherry on the cupcake, right? Cherry on the milkshake. But you're here to get the milkshake, and so you're gonna do whatever you take to get the milkshake. But she should have done it more respectively, where she's here to step back and allow Jeremy to choose. So what would I have done if I was Sarah Ann? Well, I would have texted Jeremy and be like, I had a great time getting to know you in the pods. You know, I really want to get to know you. Not gonna get to know you. I love getting to know you in the pods. Our connection's like really deep, and I connected you on a deeper level. That definitely was the case. I hope you and Laura work out. I wish you guys all the best. That's what I said. That's what I would have said. Not, oh, the door is still open, like trying to be cheeky with it. She's done that, Jeremy, and I was like, okay, let me talk to her. With that message, if Jeremy saw that, Jeremy should have said to Laura and sat Laura down and be like, let Laura know what's going on, instead of gaslighting her this entire time and not being honest with her and saying, hey, and have chatted with her overnight. But what he should have done is sat down with Laura, told her everything, and then chatted with Sarah Ann in the middle of the day with Laura's permission or with Laura knowing it, okay? And then have a conversation so everybody is aware of what's going on and not being sneaky going around everybody's back. And I think that's what Sarah Ann doesn't understand, because technically you are going after an engaged man. And number two, you're not being truthful to Laura. Like, you're not being a good friend to Laura. And number three, you're also being shady about it. You're going around the bush. So I get where Sarah Ann is saying, but I would have done it a bit more respectful to Laura. Even sat Laura down and talked to her in the barbecue and say, hey, I actually went to go talk to Jeremy. Here's what we discussed. I'm so sorry we're in this predicament. Whatever he decides, it's up to him. It's up to him to decide. That's what I would have done. Not what would have happened at the barbecue, which is Sarah Ann crying like, everybody's against me. I don't know why everybody's against me. And then go jet skis. Girl, do y'all know you guys are being filmed from? That's why I can never go on Love is Blind. I can never go on these reality TV shows. Even though like this experiment would be an experiment that I would do, I can never go on it because you guys are crazy. Like, could never. I do believe there could be only one marriage, and that marriage is Amy and Johnny. Now, I'm going to give my predictions. Okay, on who's going to say yes and who's going to say no, okay? Amy's going to say, I think both of them going to say yes, but if they don't, if the marriage doesn't happen, I think Amy's going to say no, Johnny's going to say yes. Chelsea and Jimmy, I think Jimmy's going to say no, and I think Chelsea's going to say no. AD and Clay, I think AD's going to say no, and Clay's going to say no. And then, of course, Sarah Ann and Jeremy, I don't think they're going to get married, but I think they'll still be dating. I think they'll still be dating. And Jessica, I think Jessica probably would date somebody from there. And Trevor, I think Trevor probably, if Chelsea and Jiminy Cricket doesn't work out, I do think Chelsea probably go back to Trevor and be like, hey, let's go on a date. And I think that's why Trevor's real girlfriend in real life, that's still waiting for him, probably broke up with him because he actually fell in love with Chelsea. Yeah, this show is crazy. Here's the thing though. I need the reunion to come out with a motherfucking bang. I need the reunion to answer all of our questions. I need a three-part. I need a three-parter. I need a 3-part reunion. 3 hours. Give it to me. I need you to answer everything. You know what I mean? Reduce the fluff. I need you guys to research all of the internet drama. I need you to do your thing, because the reunion each and every season has fallen short by the Lachey's. Lachey's good people, but they're horrible doing the freaking reunion. Yeah, I'm doing good nonetheless. And this season of Love is Blind has been amazing. I just gotta say, it's been so crazy that it's like you can't even watch it anymore, because what's the point? Like, so people we used to watch the show to hope to actually be really hopeful about love and marriage and all of that. And now it's like you just want to watch because it's like a plane crash. It's so crazy. Like the situations, like things are just not it. And but you watch because it's good TV. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought. Let me guys know what you guys think about what I thought and my conclusions. And you guys have a wonderful week. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, leave a review, like, and I'll see you guys next week. Stay well, stay healthy, and stay safe. Bye.